On the 26th of June, the disengagement of military formations from the demarcation line began in Stanitsia Luhanska. Over the course of 3 days, Ukrainian military personnel pulled back 1 kilometer. Russian-backed militants were supposed to do the same.
They tried to create an impression that they are doing something or leaving their positions, but this was only for the cameras.
After Ukrainian forces withdrew, 74 homes and about 100 local residents now found themselves in the so-called buffer zone. Personal experience, I can say that when there's fighting going on, we can't get help from anywhere. Everything completely falls onto our own shoulders. The second disengagement area was Zolote. Forces were withdrawn here on October 19th. Now the settlement and the surrounding areas are relatively safe. It's been quiet, and that's the most important thing for me. Everything is quiet, and it's good. We're living now as we lived before. Bogdanivka was the third area to see disengagement carried out. Both Ukrainian and Russian-backed hybrid forces pulled back 1 kilometer. In contrast to the first 2 areas, Bogdanivka is not considered to be in the so-called gray zone, but in territory fully under the control of Ukrainian forces. The roads there are in poor shape and only suitable for special equipment and OSCE off-road vehicles.
To prevent anything getting stuck in the mud, we put down boards. We're also insulating everything because it's winter. Wood is also being brought in.
This is in fact a position that was created completely from scratch. We dug a hole under the kitchen and fitted it out with boards.
The soldiers say these positions aren't as good to see the enemy. That's because this area is quieter.
There's more distance than there was, and morally it's easier. We are following the situation, and in the case of aggression, we will respond adequately.
Dmytro Likovi, an editor for the internet publication Novinarnia, which mainly publishes content related to war, says the disengagement of forces was less of a question of safety and more of a political decision. He says that this is because forces were only withdrawn in places which were relatively quiet anyway.
The war in the Donbass isn't happening in order for the shooting to stop. If that was the case, they could just stop funding the military. It seems that Zelensky has been convinced that regardless of peaceful Ukrainian initiatives, the war is so far going in favor of Russia and Putin and their plans to destabilize Ukraine.
Ukraine's former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Pavlo Klimkin, also believes that the disengagement of forces will have no effect on the overall security situation. The disengagement was one of the conditions of the Normandy format meeting. The meeting itself, however, didn't leave a positive impression on the former minister.
Doesn't this allow them to shoot mortars or from howitzers? It does. Will this stop the saboteurs? No, it won't. Disengagement is a difficult decision. I believe that tactically this negatively affects our positions. Putin isn't interested in Zelensky's success, and that's why he's setting conditions that are beneficial to him specifically.
In 2020, 3 more areas are to be disengaged, but Ukraine and Russia have yet to agree on where. Reported by Anastasia Fedchenko, Anastasia Volkova, Yulia Kruchkova, Sergei Ilinsky, and Alexander Prozorov for UATV.